Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Hey now, Jett here from Batman on Film. Support for the Batman on Film podcast and Batman on Film is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men, including me, worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer just for you. For being a Batman on Film listener, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code JETTBOF. That's JETTBOF at manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code JETTBOF at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code JETTBOF. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Hey now, welcome to episode number 37 of the Batman on Film Social Hour. This is my show. I'm Jett Ramey. I'm the founder of Batman on Film. This is my show, my podcast, or vlog. Sometimes it's video, sometimes it's audio, sometimes it's both. Joining me today is senior BOF contributor Ryan Lauer, spelled like lower. See, I'm getting better at
Correct.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
How are you?
you got this.
How are you, Ryan? How you been?
I'm doing good. It's the Halloween season. I like the Halloween season. Yeah, we're just a couple days away. So things are going great.
Are you going to a Halloween party?
No.
Are you dressing up?
Yes and no. We're taking the family nephews we're gonna go with them as they go trick-or-treating, and we have simple costumes, but a onesie, but mine is of a Care Bear, grumpy Care Bear, and it's supposed to be chilly up here, so I'm like, perfect, it's gonna keep me warm. I look pretty decent as a grumpy Care Bear, so I think that'll work.
I haven't dressed up for Halloween since probably the 90s.
Oh wow!
And I think the last time I was actually Batman. So
yeah, I mean, I know that there's a whole like you need to grow up and stop. And some people make fun of. I say like have fun with Halloween.
Oh no! I'm all about
until
it
you die.
I
think my favorite costume I think I ever dressed up as was 2008, and I went as Nurse Joker.
Okay.
I
think you were the only one who went as Nurse Joker.
Joker?
Yeah, you're the only one. So
I found online somebody done I believe in Harvey Dent campaign swag online, but then it was Jokerized. So I was able to get a sticker to put on the chest of that too. And I still have one because it came with two. I was like, oh, I'm keeping one as forever, and I'm not going to touch it. And that one was fun.
I actually have one of the stickers from that was a prop from the set.
Yes, nice. Okay,
yeah.
You win.
Yeah. So no competition. Someone who was involved with the film sent me like 3 of them, so I've got those put away. Same sticker that Heath Ledger had on. So that's cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk. It's not really repetitive because we're going to talk about 2 fandom things: the Flash trailer and the Batman trailer again, and also just what's going on. When was it? September. I tweeted out a down-breaking. I said, come 10/16/21, The dam's fixing to burst, you know, and it has. Okay, we're rolling now. We're rolling. So we're going to get to the Batman last, but I wanted to start off just talking. I know everyone knows that you are a super fan of Batman: The Long Halloween.
Oh my heavens! Yeah,
you and I did the interviews on this show with the writer Tim Sheridan of the animated film. Should we call it films now? Because they're about to, you know, it's getting merged into one. They're going to release here, early next year. So
I'm a stickler. I mean, they are right now two films. They're part 1 and 2. So I will, and then once that they release the combined one version, then I'll start saying just the Long Halloween movie. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
So I think I'll do that, and also we can say because we have 2 interviews with Tim Sheridan.
Correct.
We did 2 interviews with Tim Sheridan.
One for each part. We'll have to get him back on to talk about thing being released together as one.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Deal next year.
I don't know if you saw. Ryan Haas had sent it to me. I'd overlooked it in the quick release on that Catwoman anime film. The bottom of it, you know, had a quick little mention of the Long Halloween coming next year, and that they were really going to ramp up the violence or the R rating for the front half of that movie. I mean, that's kind of all that it said, but it's just kind of interesting of like, what's going to be different about the front half? And I'm not expecting anything big.
Yeah, I saw
just maybe extended fighting or something.
Yeah, I saw
or something.
I saw that in the press release, but I must have overlooked or didn't think much about any additions or ramping up the R rating, whatever. But yeah, that's cool. So we got a new story in the Batman on film, not the Batman on film. What the hell am I talking about? The Batman, the Long Halloween universe. And I don't know if it's in continuity with the current comic book Batman continuity. I know Fear State and all this other stuff. I've like not reading. I'm not up to date because I drop Batman and I'll read Detective here and there. But that's a whole different tangent I could get on about Batman, but I'm not. So, but we got the Batman the Long Halloween special. I think I titled that right. Batman the Long Halloween special. Okay, not 2 Halloweens in there. So, and it's by, of course, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, who did the original. And I read it when we got the early look at it. And you did too, because you had texted me and said, "Hey, did you read it yet?" And then, of course, you reviewed it. So what was your overall take on it for those who haven't read either the comic book or your review on Batman on film? And if you haven't read the review, shame on you. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, shame on you. I loved it. I think it fit perfectly in as far as continuity goes, Bill. I just think the Long Halloween universe, which I think you can throw in Year One into that universe because it was a sequel to Year One, basically, and then Dark Victory, and that's kind of the Long Halloween universe. And I think this follows Dark Victory because it includes Robin. And by a comment from Alfred, is basically that Batman hasn't allowed Robin to do much yet, so that must mean that it must be just like a little bit of time after Dark Victory, since Dark Victory ends with Robin taking the vow. Yeah, I thought the story was great though. It includes characters obviously that we've already known. It wasn't trying to do too much, because I wondered that also. It's 48 pages. What can they do in just 48 pages? Trying to introduce new characters could make it feel rushed. So they use Calendar Man, which makes total sense. Calendar Man's mission, what he's up to, makes so much sense. Two-Face hops in. Why? Makes so much sense. It's probably not a secret, but skip 15 seconds, Gilda returns, and that kind of makes sense. And then how I don't know, it takes place at Halloween, which is also perfect. I just thought it was a really good, great paced story that damn them at the end says the end for now. And it also leaves, in which Jeff Loeb has said in interviews, he loves to leave secrets, loves to leave a little trail to lead into perhaps another story.
Yeah.
This did kind of end without all of the answers known.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like you guys are ready to tell another story. And then by another interview that they did recently too, it seems like it's in DC's hands, in which in that case, I feel like it depends on how well it sells. And I can't see how it's Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I don't see how this doesn't sell well. So I'm hoping we get something. I don't know what kind of form. I hope we get something to follow this up with.
It certainly has a lot to live up to. A lot of, I'm sure there were a lot of high expectations, because it does come with the, the Long Halloween moniker or, label.
Yeah.
It's not another title like, there's Long Halloween, Dark Victory and whatnot. And this is under Long Halloween banner. And I was not, how I will say this. I'm with you. It didn't try to do too much. It wasn't a like blow me away type, one-off story. And I think that's because it is kind of like, it doesn't end really. I mean, there's an ending, but it really doesn't, you know what I mean by saying that? This story kind of comes to an end, but it wants to continue. And like it says,
I would say with an ellipsis, not a punctuation, like a full-on punctuation.
So you almost feel like you're left with wanting more, and you feel like there's more to the story that was told. There's more to this story still to be told. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yep.
That it's not complete, even though it's kind of sort of a one-off, but it kind of isn't. And so I hope I'm not confusing, but that's and I thought it was classic Tim Sale art, and I thought it was, I really enjoyed it. So I did buy, even though I get the early review copies that are digital, I did buy a copy of this, and so
I had to buy two.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
You saw both. So I think that the standard cover, which is the one that has Batman on it, and there's a and he's out on jumping in the air, and there's a there's a pumpkin in the background. That's the standard cover, and I do think that's the best one. But then Sale did one that's purple, which is Two-Face, and then there's another one that looks like it's like a white background and almost like a little bit even more painted, and that one's a more rare one. And I actually saw it at the comic shop, but it was $30, and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm not Peter Vera. I can't just throw that kind of money at a single issue.
Yeah. I got the one, I guess the standard one with Batman. So I hope to see it continue. If you haven't read it,
do it.
Yeah. Look, I don't
do it.
go to Comixology and read the digital version, or go to Amazon, which owns comics. That's a hard word to say. Comixology. Say it
That'll
three
be
times.
Your word the rest of the day.
Say it three
Just be
times.
walking
And
around
click your heels together and
Comixology.
Yeah.
Comixology.
So, but yeah, just read it. So, like if it's successful, I'm sure we'll get more. I'd love this.
So.
I want more stuff like this with Batman. Not necessarily. I'm not saying Long Halloween specifically, but just this type of prestige type stories, mini-series, maxi series that isn't involved in continuity, and you don't have to, there's no big stunt storyline like this Fear State that I'm not reading, but it's still taking place. I'd love to see Matt Wagner come back and do something that, do another maxi series in that, Dark Moon Rising universe, which to me, it's all like, speaking of that, it's like year one, Batman the Monster Man, Batman and the Mad Monk, Batman, The Man Who Laughs, Long Halloween, and Dark Victory, and now this this new Long Halloween story. They're all this. It's all young. It's all early days Batman, and they really they are tied into each other continuity wise. All of those are all fit. So give me more stuff like that. I don't care if it even fits. It's just its own thing. I'm enjoying like this imposter, Batman the imposter.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, I've had a lot of people ask me, should I get this? And I'm like, definitely. But I'm also at the point saying like, you know what? This thing may read a hell of a lot better as a a graphic novel or as a collected edition,
Sure.
So,
and it's no coincidence.
Yeah.
As we see after reading even the first issue, but we had this guess by the cover and Lee Bermejo's variant cover, which I was fortunate enough to grab, of how similar this looks to the Batman.
It does.
And then they are speeding up the collection of this. The hardcover comes out February 22nd.
Well,
so not even 2 weeks before the Batman. So it's like, and by the way, there was some small moments in that first issue too. Like I forget I meant to look at it quick, but there's a reference of almost, I don't know if it's like the skeletons or the skulls or something like that. Definitely made me think of who we've seen in the trailer of those people with the faces painted.
Yeah,
there's a reference like that.
Yeah, it's
Bruce
not
kind of looks like Pattinson. The suit looks like Pattinson.
The suit definitely does. It's not in the Batman universe. It's not a tie-in officially. It's like a unofficial official tie-in. It's not the Batman universe. It's not that the Batman, but it's so damn close. Yes, there's a reason why that it's coming out now, and the hardcover, the collected edition, comes out right before the Batman drops in theaters. Buy
that issue too if you haven't yet. That's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to the Flash. And you and I don't know, we haven't talked about much fandom stuff together. So, and really I don't want to rehash the trailer. But I do. I mean, that was damn near a Batman trailer. Don't you think the Flash trailer? I mean, I get it, all that. So, but I know it's a Flash movie, but my God, I mean, you got Keaton's doing it. He's narrating the damn thing.
He's narrating it. Yeah. You have Barry walking into Wayne Manor, and then Barry's in the Batcave, and then you see Batman's the back of his cowl coming up in the Batcave, and then Barry's going to pull the tarp off of, which we can say that we know, but we don't know because we didn't see it, but we can only assume it's the Batmobile. So I mean, this is the Flash finding Batman.
So I just want to kick around a few, takes and theories. They're probably leading us to believe things that the way it really isn't in the film. Although I will say there are some things that I saw in the trailer of things I heard about the storyline for the Flash that confirms those things. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Okay. But apparently there's a need for the Flash to find Batman wherever he ends up. And somehow he's in the world of the Keaton verse, the Michael Keaton, where Michael Keaton's Batman from Returns and Batman 89 was the Batman in this world. Now, and so he's seeking out, to me, and you can tell me what I think he's having this for whatever reason, whatever he has. He goes look for Bruce Wayne, and this is the Bruce Wayne he finds, and it looks like Bruce Wayne has not been Batman in quite some time. Wayne Manor is basically, everything's covered up. It seems like maybe he's some sort of recluse by this point. He's probably Keaton's actual age. He's probably, 70-ish, late 60s. And with Barry, did you think about when Barry turned on the power the power switch? Did it remind you of 89 when Batman turned it on?
It did not, and until somebody pointed it out online, and then I was like,
With
"Oh
Vicky
my
Vale?
gosh!"
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought. So they're in the Batcave. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting for me because the Flash movie, I mean, has been in development hell for a long time, but then since what 2015, there's been rumors of it was gonna be Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Flashpoint's been like the one, and it I'm curious on if it was Annie Muschietti who wanted to do Flashpoint as an inspiration for this story, or if it was Warner Brothers and they found their director to do this, or if it was some kind of blend of both.
Weren't there? Okay, there was two dudes that direct together that were part of this before Muschietti came on board, right? I can't.
Yeah.
Their names escape me.
I think they wrote or they directed Game Night. I think because I'm looking real quick. John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein.
Yeah, I think
I think those were the guys.
At that point, it was looking to be a Flashpoint type movie, even at that point.
Okay,
I don't know
what you're
who was the other dude even before that? Rick,
Famuyiwa?
Yeah, I don't know what he had planned. But I think
so. It just seems like Flashpoint has been since maybe 2016. Then I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a little bit later than that. Yeah, but yeah.
What you're describing to me just definitely makes me think of the Flashpoint story, of something. I'm not privy to this information. I don't know what happens in this upcoming movie, but
yeah,
Flashpoint, Barry's, wow, something has happened, which it alludes to in the trailer too. It's just like Flashpoint of Barry saves his mom. Mm-hmm. We get a hint of maybe that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then it has ramifications. And then he finds, he goes looking for Bruce Wayne. Cause I mean, of course, go to Batman. He solves everything. And what he finds is a Wayne Manor that's not taken care of. Mm-hmm. And then down in the Batcave is not Bruce Wayne. So maybe that's like the difference. But as far as like getting all the way up to that point, just does seem very Flashpoint inspired.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool idea. I like, and I mean, I know, and we don't have to go into it, but we know that this is going to be somewhat of like a reset for DC on film and playing with the multiverse idea and stuff like that, which I think general audience, I'm not saying that they never were receptive to it, but it's not a totally unfamiliar idea because of the Flash TV series and the DC series on TV, which of course it's not like everybody's watching that either, but it's at least warmed up to the idea a little bit to some audience that otherwise maybe wouldn't have been exposed to that before.
You think that we knew that it was Keaton.
Yeah.
We knew that the Batman from behind at the end was Keaton. Do you think like a general audiencer, if that's a word, saw that trailer, I don't know if they even have it's been out in the mainstream press that Keaton's returning, but how many people, that don't follow this stuff like we do really, understand that Keaton's coming back to play Batman? So if you show that, a general audiencer, that trailer, do they even register any of this stuff with them other than, because, you see Batman from behind, you never see Keaton. You hear his voice. I know his voice because I've seen Batman I've seen Batman 89 like 1,726 times in my life. And I've watched Night Shift about 457 times. So
you've watched Returns about 900 times, obviously.
Negative. Sir.
Negative. Sorry, 700. My bad. All right, carry on.
So I'm just wondering what, they could think it's Affleck's Batman. They wouldn't have a clue, So I don't, so this, I guess my point is this was clearly made for fans who are, that know the deal. You know what I'm saying? They know Keaton. We know Keaton's back. And that was one of the main reasons we wanted to see the damn Flash trailer at Fandom, is because we were hoping to get a glimpse of Keaton. Glad they didn't show too much of Keaton either, to be honest.
To me, that was
Yes.
perfect. I've been on
Yeah.
here with you before, and I've said I do not want to see, before I sit down and see the movie, I don't want to see how Keaton returns. I don't want to
Okay.
see his first time face to face with Flash or anything. I would really love for that to be saved for me for the movie.
Yeah.
And I saying can't see him, or I don't want to see him or anything. And for something that's over a year away, I think what they did at Fandom, I think was perfect.
Yeah. I think that, well, I kind of know. When they market this film,
Mhm.
we will see Keaton's Batman. They're going to market
Yeah.
it. That's going to be a big marketing hook for this movie, is the return of Michael Keaton as Batman. You know,
And that's cool. Like
Yeah.
I'm of course I want to see what he looks like. I want to see if they're going to put him in the old suits, as well as possibly anything that's new tech or something too. It's just that first encounter I don't want to see until.
No, I don't want to see that. That's fine with me as well. And there's one shot I want to get your take on. We're discussing it on the Facebook fan group.
Ooh. What are you gonna say?
The cow that's laying on the floor. It looks like parts of the suit behind it.
Yeah.
And there's blood on the floor, which that is, I'm pretty sure, based on just my observation and something I've heard, that's Ben Affleck, the Ben Affleck cow. If you look at the nose, if you look at the nose bridge, you know, Keaton's nose bridge or nose area is very pointed. The Keaton one is more rounded, and also the brow line, the brow. You know, Keaton's very angular and sharp, and the Ben Affleck one is not. It's more round. It's not. So, and also, and someone pointed out, I think a shout out. I think it was Trey Jackson. So shout out to Trey Jackson. Even the shadow, you can see the shadow of the one of the bat ears on the cow, and it's much smaller. Which we know Ben Affleck's cow is the ears on that cow are much. You know, Keaton's got the longer, very very pointy, sharp bat ears on the cow. So, but as others pointed out, you can kind of see the yellow oval emblem on, it looks like the torso that's behind the cow. And we know that Keaton has wore the yellow oval, but Affleck had the big Frank Miller looking bat logo on his suit. And so what's your thoughts? I mean, we're talking about it. That's why it's in there. That's why it's in there for us to talk about.
What stood out to me is the blood drops look just like the blood or jelly drops on the Batman logo that Andy Muschietti posted on Instagram. Blood or jelly, I don't know. But when it comes to, I can't tell. I've looked at the pictures people put online of it, or the screen grab of it and stuff, and I can't tell. I have no idea. Maybe this is their hint of, listen up, people. We're slamming the door on Affleck's Batman. Okay, this is it. This is him. The bat is dead. Bury it. I don't know, Bill. I have no idea. I
do think that this is it for. I think this is Ben Affleck's cool way to segue out of the role. I'm not sure
his exact words, right?
Yes.
Which I know he also said that he'd play an effing ape on the ground in a Matt Reeves film.
Yeah,
and I bet he still would. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything is just lined up to. I mean, right now he's sailing around the world with Jennifer Lopez. So I think he's like, I don't want to enter this fandom again.
Yeah.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I don't know. My guess. I don't know anything.
I do believe
exactly like they're saying it's the end for him.
I just don't know if him biting the dust is
cool.
The cool way to segue out. maybe, I mean,
I
someone
agree.
brought this up. What if when the Flash F's up the timeline and all of a sudden it's the Michael Keaton's Batman, aged Batman, is Batman in this reset universe. What if somehow along the way in whatever parallel dimension or whatever universe that maybe he saved the Wayne's parents from being shot, and Bruce Wayne grew up happy and never became Batman and had a great life. I don't know. I don't know. And that's the whole point and the fun of all this. But I do believe, I do believe this is Affleck's last hurrah. I hope he does something very Batmanish and very heroic in this film. I think that, and I believe that Keaton's Batman remains at the end of the Flash, because things are going to be reset, you know?
So Affleck as Batman being done, it wouldn't be a cool way if he got killed. It would have an emotional impact, though. If people love Batman, and to see Batman actually like bite the dust and be killed.
I don't want him to be murdered or some kind of nonsense where he just, like boom, he's dead, and you're like, what the fuck? But maybe going out super heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I thought, what if because that whole Flash, or that whole minute of footage or whatever, there's a very like bluish tint to the whole thing, but then like that shot I think was yellow. What if that is Batman, Bruce or Keaton's Batman returning, and that's when he said F this, and I'm hanging it all up. Maybe he had a really bad, like in Batman Beyond, that version of Batman he's like, that's it. Maybe there's something bad happened then, and that's where he hung it up for a while until that. So I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just spitballing. Maybe Crazy Quilt pops up somehow and does something crazy.
I will say I'm very excited for that film. I'll be honest. It's mainly because of Keaton coming back. Now look, if Batman wasn't in it, it was a straight up Flash film, I'd still go see it because it's a DC movie. And I'm not a huge Flash fan, but I would go see it. I support all DC stuff. And then I'll like it, maybe I don't, but whatever. I do support DC stuff, but I am just very excited to see Keaton return. And and I do like, to be honest, I did like Flashpoint, the Batman one-off, the Batman Flashpoint Batman story.
Awesome.
And I really like the Flashpoint animated film a lot as well.
It's one of DC's best, I think.
I think the use of Thomas Wayne in that was way better. It got to be way too much during Tom King's run. I wasn't a fan of the Thomas Wayne coming back and that whole, that whole thing during Tom King's run in Batman. Didn't hate it, but I wasn't just a huge fan of it. But the use of Thomas Wayne in Flashpoint and in Flashpoint Batman, I thought it was really the best they've done that thing. And I like time travel and alternate reality type movies. That's why I was a fan of Back to the Future, back in the day. That's the king of it. So I like this kind of stuff. So it's kind of my alley. When it comes to science fiction, I like this. I like that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. That's part of the reason why I'm looking forward to the damn new Spider-Man film. I'm not a huge MCU Spider-Man fan. I'm not a huge fan of what was it? Homecoming. I liked. I didn't care all that much for Far From Home, but this one. And if they bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and we already know Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 is coming back, and all that stuff I like.
Well, in the recent trade, a recent trade even reported that Sandman and Bryce Ifans from Amazing Spider-Man, his Lizard, they're both going to be in it too. So nice. Thomas Hayden Church is Sandman, and then the Lizard. So
nice.
it's the worst kept secret, right? That at least Tobey Maguire is going to be in it.
Yeah.
It just feels like he's got to pop up somehow. And
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that idea. It's the whole idea of multiverse stuff is ambitious.
So we'll finish up here with the Batman. How many times you watched that trailer since it came out a couple weeks ago?
Lost track. I think it is probably because I work dayside, and we're on computers, internet, and all that. And I think it's like the first thing I pull up every single day. I put on my headphones, and I just turn on the Batman trailer because I'm always, why not? It's exactly what I did last year with the Fandom trailer.
Some people, I saw some people say I liked it, but I was more blown away by the first trailer. Did you feel that way? I did not. This one really, I was like, hey, this one look, I love that first one, but this one,
I'll say I can agree with that, but it's because last year we hadn't seen anything.
Yeah.
And then they threw, and we didn't even know if we were going to see anything by the end of Matt Reeves' presentation at Fandom last year. And then he's just like, well, it's this Fandom. We've got to have something.
Yeah.
And then not only was it just like an image, it was a 2.5 minute, we'll call it trailer, I guess. I don't know. So in that just like knocked us all on our asses because we just didn't know the vibe and the how the movie, what was coming. So we had a year of watching that 6 times a day. Okay, now we know the world and stuff, so it's almost like a lot of people, I think, were waiting for that to get knocked on their ass, but it's like we've already seen some and we've built it way up in our heads. So I think, in short, I can understand, and it's not a negative at all with this trailer. It's we just didn't know what was coming last year, and then they gave that.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
We know a rough style that's coming. So there's my explanation, I guess.
I thought this film is going, if nothing else, it's going to look amazing. The cinematography is fantastic.
Yeah.
And the shots, the silhouettes of Batman and Catwoman on the roof, the bat signal with the blinds, the shades, or whatever you want to call it. It's just, there's so much. Pattinson.
That first shot to me, and not like I'm some kind of like genius or anything. I've just always thought watching Seven of like, man, this Seven takes place in Gotham to me. And I really think that even that opening shot of this trailer, it's like, oh my gosh, this looks like Seven. This is the feeling of it just looks awesome. It looks great.
It's clear it ain't a rehash of the Nolan films. Okay. So we can stop saying
it's Batman
that.
Begins 2.0,
Yeah,
Bill.
Sure. Okay. Sure, Jan. So, and that's not directed to you. That's,
Oh, no, I get you.
I got you.
I get you.
So because this son of a gun is more, it's grounded more than the Dark Knight trilogy. It is grittier than the Dark Knight trilogy. It is going to be, it's street level, which we really didn't get in the Dark Knight trilogy. And there's some anger and just rage and violence.
Yeah. It's going to feel a little brutal.
Bruce Wayne is not, I don't want to go with the old Bruce Wayne's crazy thing, but he's angry. This is an angry dude, and no pun intended, where does Batman begin and Bruce Wayne ends? I don't think he's discovered yet.
You talking about the Batman, or are you talking about ego now, Bill?
Yeah.
Come on.
Boom. For how to separate the two,
Yeah.
And even he hasn't probably even got to the point where he knows how to do public Bruce Wayne yet. I think that's part of
that's what makes, that makes Nolan's trilogy different right there.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel like it's not a rehash. So sure, Nolan took the realistic approach. Okay, this is taking the realistic approach. Sure, that's a similarity. It doesn't mean they're doing the exact same. in Batman Begins, we saw his origin. We're not seeing an origin here. In Batman Begins, it's Alfred plants that bug in his ear of, you need to act like people who like you act, in which that's where Bruce figures it out. And he's like, okay, so I've got a whole persona, a public persona. Whereas if the Pattinson version is just like, no, he's pissed off and he's angry. I don't know, he has issues. And it just, to me, that's what makes this one different. I mean, it just doesn't, the realistic approach is kind of the only one that I could see if somebody really wants to say, oh, we already saw the realistic version. It's like, okay, well then, I mean, you could argue that Batman 89 was a realistic version then, because I mean, the only thing fantastical really in Batman 89 was the Joker falling in a vat of acid and becoming, perma white with green hair. I mean, sure, but that's not. You can squint your eyes. That's fantastical. You can really squint your eyes, real hard. Yeah. And say, yeah, that could happen. That's maybe possible. I've never tried it, so I can't say that it wouldn't. Yeah. I won't try it. But yeah. Anyways, I'm not. I can. If some people, I did have a friend who did ask me. He's like, this was last year. He was like, don't get me wrong, I will see it, but what's up with the new Batman movie? Why, if I got such a good feel with those Nolan movies, like, why do I need to? And he wasn't trying to be a dick or anything. He's just trying to say, like, sell me on this. What's the difference? I'm like, okay, I can respect that kind of question, because some people will do that with movies too, of a series, and they can cut it off and be like, I'm good. I don't need any more. Yeah. So what makes it come back to the Batman? I think we just kind of explained, like, these are just some things that we can assume are different with this one. Not to mention there's going to be so many other, once we see the movie, it's going to be clear of, this is very different. Look at, and just watch. But we've had James Bond films since the 1960s. Exactly. Yep. You said a long time ago, Batman is Warner Brothers James Bond. It is. You can always just reinterpret and come out with a fresh new take. And I've said that, there was a point where I thought Batman should be like Bond and just like continue on and on and on and never really end. And just, if a new actor comes in, whatever. And that's how Bond was up into Casino Royale, Yep. And Casino Royale there was some inspiration taken from Batman Begins to reboot. And, I haven't seen the new film yet, and I'm trying to get to see it. Just haven't It's really damn good. It's really damn good. My son told me, and you saw it, thank goodness. I can ask you. My son Micah saw it and said, a lot of Dark Knight Rises type stuff in here, so where he was like, Casino Royale is kind of Batman Begins, and there's just not actual things that happen in Dark Knight Rises, but you know what I mean. There's Bane takes over London. Yes, and Bane all that stuff. That's what happens. Is in No Time to Die. There's Virgin universes. You didn't know that MGM and Sony had no idea. And Warner Brothers worked out a deal now. Twist. So, would you concur with that take of Micah's? Absolutely, and okay. It's not heavy-handed. We're just like eye rolling of like, oh, they took this from the Dark Knight Rises. But I mean, just like you could draw some parallels. I don't want to say what it is. Definitely, I don't want to say what it is, because I think I kind of know because he kind of told me. But you know what I mean. So, I think that's accurate. It's very accurate. So now I think we're at a point where we take these characters like Batman and Bond. We don't have to run them into the ground. You can tell a story over 3, 4, 5 films. I think Daniel Craig did 5 Bond movies, and then you bring in a new filmmaker and who has a different take. You still have the same core characteristics of James Bond and Batman, but do something different. I think
whoever comes on and does the next incarnation of James Bond it'll be something different than we've seen with the Daniel Craig films, and that's cool. And maybe Chris Nolan finally does Bond. That would be awesome. So,
one off. I don't see that he would stick around for 3 Bond movies. At this point in his career, I don't know if he'd want to do. See, I don't know.
He's such a Bond fan that I think if he could tell a story, if he could tell a self-contained story over 3 movies, I bet he would.
You would?
I bet he would. Because he'll do something in between, just like he did with Batman. I mean, he did Inception and Prestige, and he did Interstellar was in between those. So yeah.
When you have lunch with him next week, why don't you ask him?
I will do that. When
you guys get together to talk about the Cowboys, it's a weekly lunch.
Give you that. Sure, Jan. Okay. So another question about the Batman trailer. Have you talked to anyone who's a non-Batman fan, just like, one of these general audiences who saw it and got any response from them?
I have people I work with, but as you know, I've told you of I work in media, so they're not as much general. They're a little bit more.
They're more in the know,
reading up on this stuff. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Not as anywhere near the Batman nerd that I am, but their responses have been, A+.
Mm-hmm.
I have not shown the fiance. She's kind of she doesn't necessarily. She can be halfway through a trailer and then just stop and be like, yeah, I'll see this. I don't need to see anymore.
Yeah.
And she likes to wait. So she watched the Fandom one. She hasn't watched this one.
Interesting.
I don't know if she will before seeing.
Okay.
Yeah. Before seeing that one. So, not so much then, I guess. But I'm curious what the general audience response is to this one.
That I was a coach and teacher for 30 years, and now I'll sub at my wife's school here and there when whenever I want to, and I always would get reaction from kids, and after the I heard kids talking about it, the Batman trailer, so that tells me it apparently he's done a lot of mainstream media did stories about the Batman trailer afterwards. So it's getting some good run. And like I said, things are ramping up. You can the merchandise is coming out, and it's only going to keep coming
out. New Lego
out.
Sets. We are 3 days away from the release of the Batman.
Yes, it's going to be released. The McFarlane stuff comes out in early November.
It's pre-order now.
Yeah, I pre-ordered Batman, the Bat Cycle, Catwoman, and the Riddler. Those 4 that were available. I have not pre-ordered.
You have to make room on your shelf.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some shuffling around. I may have to buy another shelf set just straight up for the Batman.
You're gonna have to add on to Casa del Rey.
I did. I'll show you this.
Expand.
Since this is audio, but you can't see. I also already have that hanging.
Oh yeah.
Up there, which is if you're
folks, he's showing the Batman image that was released 2 days. Was that 2 days before?
It was either Thursday or Friday before. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it's
a Batman and then a Riddler.
The Batman poster. Yeah, so I got that hanging now, in the BOF home office. What was your favorite? You have a favorite part of that trailer?
Oh, it's definitely the your son Micah on Colin A Broadcasting. He did a breakdown of that you posted on BOF as well, and I didn't notice until then that it looks like we're viewing it from the other side of an elevator, Batman walking through that tunnel as people are shooting him, and that's where a lot of the flashing comes, because he was doing it a frame by frame, and it looks like there's an elevator coming, or some kind of shot like that. I think that was my winner. That was so badass. And I know that there were definitely comparisons of, we already saw that in The Dark Knight Rises, I can see how you can say that they're a little related. We don't see it in context of the film. Batman sure as hell wasn't getting shot in the chest in The Dark Knight Rises at that part. But that's the image for me. And right before that, and it's really quick, whenever Batman he's falling and landing in his cape. That's a comic book shot right there. And it's fast, but short answer, which I can't do short answers. I keep going long answers, but I think that's the shot for me. Getting shot and beaten ass.
It may be, and the fighting is, I know, it never bothered me. I know the Dark Knight trilogy took some shit for the fight choreography. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Never bothered me. This is very different. It's more brutal, and it's gritty. It's street level. It's Batman kicking ass. Like I don't think like we've ever seen. To be honest, I think my favorite shot is that one where it's kind of from above a little bit, and he's looking up, and his suit is like got dust and dirt and stuff all over it. Yeah, I just like that shot. And that one with him getting shot coming in that tunnel, whatever he's at, and he's getting shot, and you can see, that he's kicking those people's ass. And then I gotta mention the Penguin with the upside down car, and he's looking, and Batman's just walking from the Batmobile toward him. It's like a damn horror movie shot.
That's cool. Mm-hmm.
Loved it. So yeah. The Batman is coming. Dude. Jinx. You owe me a Coke. You ever do that? That was a big thing when I was a kid.
I owe you. Well, since in your area, Coke can be any kind of soda.
It could be any kind
I'll get you that Mountain Dew in Marksville. I'm bringing you some Mountain Dew.
It could be anything. Yeah. You want a Coke? Yeah. What kind? Give me a Mountain Dew. So, all right. Plug anything you would like.
Plug away. Well, as Bill already said, my review for the Long Halloween special is on BOF proper, as are other reviews and such. The Injustice animated movie, which a lot of people apparently didn't like. I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right. That's on there, as well as interviews we did with Tim Sheridan, Lieber Mayo, and such, all of that. My podcast, The Batman Book Club. Follow on Twitter at The Batman BC. The most latest episode was talking Bloodstorm. Doug Mensch, Kelly Jones, their second vampire Batman story with Justin Kowalski. That's on there. Pete and I, actually, right after this, we're going to record the October wrap-up issue or episode. So, yeah, check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. The Batman Book Club. There you go.
I'm glad
Bill's coming back.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Micah's breakdown. He did a really good job of breaking down on that trailer. So that is on BOF, Micah Ramey. Colonnade Broadcasting, but it is on Batman on Film. It's a breakdown of the new Batman trailer we just talked about. I have got to plug our sponsor. We have a sponsor on this show, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Support for Batman on Film is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped. Are you Manscaped, sir? Don't answer that. Don't answer that question.
We got to meet in person before you can ask me those kind of questions.
Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. You can find Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Hey.
Genius.
This is a family show for the most part, sometimes. Yes. But it's a good product. I have used it. So check it out. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code Jett BOF, JETTBOF at manscaped.com. That's 20% off of shipping, free shipping, 20% off the product at manscaped.com, and just use that code Jett BOF. Tell them BOF sent you. Tell them Jett sent you. If you want to unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job, Manscaped. All right. Besides that, if you like what we do here at Batman on Film, want to become a patreon.com/Batman on Film. You can buy Batman stickers, t-shirts, Batman on Film stickers and t-shirts, and support the site, tpublic.com/Batman on Film. Follow me on Twitter at Batman on Film. Follow all Batman news links on Twitter at The Batman on Film. And you can find various posts related to BOF at our instagram.com/Batman on Film, of course, on the app Batman on Film. So that's all I got. Ryan, thanks for coming on. And
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Have a good Halloween. Don't eat too much candy.
Yes. Never. I'll drink too much dew. You, in the meantime, happy Halloween to you. You've got the primetime game on Halloween. So
yes, I'm quite.
You're battling Garrett Grev.
I am. I am a little concerned. Number one, I don't want anybody ringing my damn doorbell when that game's on.
Sure.
7:30. So I may just put a big bucket of candy out and say, "Don't ring the damn doorbell. Just take candy." But I don't think that. I don't know if Dak Prescott is going to play. He injured himself in the last play of the game against the Patriots when he threw that walk-off touchdown pass. Yeah. So he's got a strained calf.
How many heart attacks did you have that game?
About 29.
That was a wild finish.
Yeah.
That was a wild finish. Holy hell.
I jumped about 6 foot in the air when that pass, when CeeDee Lamb caught that pass and went in. So
you still got it, Coach Ramey. You still got it.
The last time I saw the Cowboys beat the Patriots, and granted, they're in two different conferences. They only play each other every 4 years. I mean, it's not regular.
Sure.
The last time the Cowboys beat the Patriots, this was before their dynasty starting in the early 2000s, was in 1996 at Texas State. And Bill Parcells, who would later coach the Cowboys, was the coach of the New England Patriots. I was at that game, and it was something
Bledsoe
like
was quarterback then, right, for the Patriots?
Bledsoe was quarterback for the Patriots, who would later play quarterback for the Cowboys under Parcells. But it was a 96 season, and I want to say the damn score, it was like a field goal game. It was like 9-6 or 12-9, something crazy like that. But the Cowboys did win. That was the last time. So yeah, that was a great game. And if you had no dog in the hunt, and just were watching that game, I'm sure it was a hell of a game to watch. It was exciting. So and they had which I thought was very smart. They dropped a TV spot for the Batman during that game and other NFL games that weekend, which was the day after Fandome. So, hey, I don't know if they're doing it for the World Series, but I mean,
and it was a minute long.
Yeah,
a lot of TV spots will be 30 seconds, and they did a minute, so that was cool.
Yeah, that was a good move because that Patriot Cowboy game probably the most highest rated regular season game of the year, or if not one of them. All right, so we'll get out of here. Thanks for coming on. I'm Bill for Ryan. Thank y'all for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Batman on Film Social Hour, Jett's official BOF podcast and vlog. Follow Jett on Twitter at Batman on Film. For BOF news only on Twitter, follow at the Batman on Film. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original Batman on Film.